Good morning, student. Welcome back. This is Nirmala Singh, your English teacher, and today we will start with lesson 5, that is Mr. Simple on the Train. And we will read the story about this Mr. Simple. So let's start with the story. Mr. Simple on the Train. Once in a month, Mr. Simple went to see his old mother. He would catch the 10 o'clock train in the morning. He would spend the day with his mother and come back in the evening. He would come back by 6 o'clock train. Often Mr. Simple looked very pale when he came back in the evening. He couldn't eat or drink anything. One day Mrs. Simple said, "Dear, you are no good on a train journey. It's upset you so much." "I know why it upset me. I always feel ill when I sit with my back to the engine. Last time I sat facing the engine and I was all right. Isn't that strange? But dear, if that is the cause of your trouble, you can end it very easily." "How?" "When you find that you are sitting with your back to the engine, you can make a simple request to the person in the opposite seat. You can say to him, 'Will you please change places with me? I feel ill if I sit with my back to the engine.' And then you can change seat with and all be right. But I can't say all that to a stranger." "He was really very shy person. You can say all that if you practice a little. Now suppose I am the person in the opposite seat. Just try and say that speech to me." Mr. Simple practiced the speech for full 1 month. He knew every word of it by heart. "Now I can change places with anyone." The day came when Mr. Simple was to go to see his old mother. He set off happily in the morning, but when he came back in the evening, he looked as pale as ever. "Mr. Simple, didn't you say that speech on the train?" "Dear, I was quite all right when I caught the morning train. I got into the coach and sat down. I began to feel ill because I was sitting with my back to the engine. A little boy was sitting in the opposite seat. Will you please change place with me? I feel ill if I sit with my back to the engine." The boy at once changed place with me and I was again quite well. "Then what happened in the evening train?" "Did you sit with your back to the engine?" "Yes." "How foolish. Why didn't you change places with the person in the opposite seat? I would have done that." But there was no one in the opposite seat. On hearing this, Mrs. Simple began to laugh. "Oh dear, you are even more foolish than I thought." And Mr. Simple couldn't understand why his